Hello, everyone. Today's question is, how did I get started in ad fraud? Actually, my first start in ad fraud was back in the late 90s. I wrote a piece of code. It was 69 lines of code, and it was simple, a mouse movement detection system. And back then, you couldn't spoof mouse movement, so it was very easy, but yet it was very effective. A couple years later, I was an advertiser, like many of you, out there buying traffic. And I started realizing I had some oddities with my data. My ROI wasn't where I thought it should be, and just some odd behavior on the pages. So I figured, you know what? I'm just going to run out, license an ad fraud solution, add it to my system, and then just keep going and building my campaigns. But back then, back in 2004, 2005, there weren't any fraud solutions to license. So as a developer, I built my own. And I started looking at traffic in a variety of ways to try to help get very, very pinpoint on where the fraud was coming from. And probably the best way to describe how I looked at fraud back then and how we still look at fraud today is kind of like this. I look at an object and imagine a ball of traffic, and you look at it from a simple angle, like the angle you're looking at right now, and you're looking for things that are obviously wrong with the data, and then coming up with a solution to determine if that's fraud or not. So I came up with the concept, and this is just a basic concept. I would turn my lens on that traffic and look at the traffic from different angles and identify new levels of fraud by turning the angles of the traffic and looking at it through a different lens. Ultimately, if you keep spinning that traffic in different ways, eventually you start to get the full picture. And that's kind of how we look at fraud today. Hopefully that answers your questions. I wish everybody a great weekend, and I'll catch you on my next video. Thanks.